Oh, I see.
Recording.
Got it.
Boom. There we go. All right. Today it's just myself and Warren here. And I'm joined by Warren Scherer, bit like Cher, and I'm Jer, like Cher. So how you getting on, Warren?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. How about you?
Same as life's good. Life's good. We finally made this happen. I think we messaged you originally, fucking well over a year ago.
Yeah, something like that.
We're sitting there with like 200 subscribers, like, oh, let's fucking go. And you're nice enough to answer in the first place. You're like just finishing the Xmen stuff, and here you
Yeah.
are now. You worked with another guy we had on the show, Jordan Elsas, on Superman and Lois. What was that like, Superman and Lois, going from Marvel to DC?
Um, Honestly, it was a great experience. It was actually the first time I ever worked in Vancouver. Like Canada, it's a pretty big country, so sometimes it can take a while to get from one side to the other. But yeah, I got on it because well, anyway, so at the beginning of COVID, a lot of people were in the industry were very worried that Hollywood might not even exist anymore because nobody knew what to make of it. So now I was kind of looking into like other careers, just in case. I was even thinking about the military. I was a cadet when I was a teenager, so I would know what to expect from putting on a uniform. But yeah, when I was about to make a decision, the phone rang, and it was the stunt coordinator, Rob Hader from Superman and Lois, and so he was asking me, if I'd be interested in wearing a suit. And the reason they were calling me was because originally it was a good buddy of mine, Daniel Cudmore, who was fitted for the suit. And this is the guy that played the original Colossus in the Xmen movies, but he's also a stunt guy. So after he was fitted for the suit, they couldn't use him as the stunt double for Wole Parks anymore because, well, first they hired him and then they hired Wole Parks, who is African American. But my friend Daniel was not African American. He's actually Caucasian. So in this day and age, it's like a complete no-no to have a white
Really?
person double up act. Yeah. It's
That's
I mean, years and years ago it was, it would happen
yeah.
a lot, but now it's it's kind of politically incorrect to do that. So, but luckily I was the exact same body type as Daniel, so I fit in the suit, very easily. And it all worked out because he eventually got a role on the show. So
All was
yeah.
well.
Yeah, all was well.
Now, I just have to go back on that one there because it's like a spicy topic.
Yeah.
Does it really make a difference if it's in a suit?
You know what? Like I kind of have mixed views on it. So I mean, I believe that safety should be the number one concern, to be honest. So, like I think yeah, it is a bit of a rough
Like
topic.
if it matters with like the suit IRL, would it matter for performance capture? Like at what point does it not matter? Like I know it matters with voice. That one's a bit more serious because you can hear the person, but you only see their movement if they're in the suit. So I don't know.
I think it's really just to avoid bad PR.
Yeah.
Like they don't even want to take any chances right now. But
Yeah.
and I totally understand their decision, and I'm not complaining because
You got the job, dude.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm really happy to be working right now. So I filled in those boots as best as I could and did the best job I could, and yeah, it all worked out in the end.
Well, power to you.
Yeah.
You got it. And okay, I'll be real with you. I said to you before we started, I didn't see Superman and Lois. Jordan
No
Elsas, I apologize, buddy. I'll get to it. But what I did see of your guy was pretty weird, kind of similar to the Superman movie when they come like the other kryptonite or kryptons come back from whatever the fuck it's called, and they're decked out that armor. It kind of looked like that.
Yeah, a little bit, but
I wish I said that better.
honestly, a lot of people don't worry about it. A lot of people were making reference to Halo Master Chief, or Master Chief from Halo, but apparently apparently like some of the same writers were on this show that were from the Halo 4 Forward Unto Dawn web miniseries, which was actually pretty good. And as a matter of fact, it was my friend Daniel who played Master Chief in that web series. So I think that's why he was the first choice. But
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
But yeah, they hired him first, and then they hired the actor, and then they realized, oh, yeah, we can't have a white guy doubling an African American. So
Yeah,
let's look around, and then they
fly.
found me. Yeah.
There you were, happy to do the job.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it was more acceptable like years ago, but now it's I mean, like I said, I feel like safety should be, the number one concern. And if you're covered like head to toe, then maybe you can get away with it as long as it's safety first. But yeah, like I don't think you should like hire a double that looks exactly like the actor if they really can't do the work.
Yeah,
then you might have to look elsewhere.
Yeah,
but yeah, it is such a touchy subject these days. So
but it kind of, it matters on like what the character is. Like if it's some kind of alien, does it matter?
Oh, if it's an alien,
Like when like a blue alien, does it matter who does it?
Oh, you mean like if, let's say, an African American is playing a blue alien, and then they have a white stunt double? Yeah, that's a tough one, actually. Yeah, good question.
Yeah,
I think they try to get someone of the same ethnicity, first and foremost. But if they really can't, then they'll look elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, they try to avoid it at all costs. But like if they really can't avoid it, then I guess they they just do what they can, right?
Yeah, but like you were coming from, like you did what, 3 X-Men movies?
I believe so. Yeah, there was X-Men Days of Future Past, and X-Men Apocalypse, and X-Men Dark Phoenix. And as a matter of fact, I met my friend Daniel because I was his stunt double on X-Men Days of Future Past. And this was kind of before, this was becoming an issue, right? With, with race and stuff. But yeah, like when I was doubling him, it was only like when he turned into metal. So every morning they would just paint my face silver, and they would give me like this metallic, like Under Armour. So, it would be easier to, put his metal form, on top of myself. But in the end, I really didn't end up doing that much, because he's also a really good stuntman too. So he was able to do all of his own stunts, but I ended up practicing the stunts first before he did them. And then once they started shooting, he stepped in, and, it wasn't, life-threatening or anything, the stunts that we were doing. So yeah, I was just, happy to be there and happy to help out and make sure he was safe. And yeah, I got paid the same. Yeah.
Man, I got so much respect for stunt guys, because for a lot of reasons. You do like some of like the most dangerous shit in like the biggest productions and barely get mentioned. I talked to Kai, no, what's her name? Kai Furneaux, and like she was like for Thor The Dark World, it's like an award-winning stunt double, but like you'd never hear about her for her stunt work. It was the other brand she built up. We had Keanu Lam on. He was in like, do you know him?
Actually, I worked for his father recently. I've never met Keanu, but I met his father when I was like maybe 6 years old on the set of Art of War, and that Wesley Snipes was the star of that. But yeah, I saw him again recently. I was working for him on a show called C. Have you ever heard of it? It's an Apple TV original, and it's starring Jason Momoa, and Dave Bautista plays his brother.
Yes,
in the second season.
I know about it.
Yeah. It's that was a lot of fun. But I was I was playing a Travantian soldier and doing like a battle scene, and this was like day camp for stunt people. There was literally 50 different stunt people, working on this. And it was interesting because a lot of these names and people I've heard of, but, like we've never all been like in the same spot together doing that kind of work. So that was a lot of fun, meeting people and just hanging out with old friends and new friends. Yeah,
I'd say it's good fun.
Fun to work on. Yeah. And it was cool because it was like a medieval battle, right? Yeah.
I've got to do one of those before. I'm not a stunt
Oh
guy
yeah.
by any means. I've just some background work, and it was on The Last Duel, which is now out, and got to do like some of the archery in that because
Hmm.
I'm an archer, and holy shit, like this guys like dressed up as like medieval soldiers and doing full body burns multiple times. That's scary. Full body burns,
Wow.
man.
Yeah.
Uh, when we had Keanu on, he told us how little you get paid for that, and
Hmm.
dude, especially in the States where you don't get like cheap healthcare, you
Yeah.
guys could like not make a lot of money off that and then get fucked by it at the same time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a scary one. You ever done one?
Um, Not yet. I mean, I burnt myself a few times when I was a little kid going through my pyro phase, but no, not a full body or anything.
Thank God.
I mean, maybe I'll try like, like just my arm one of these days, but yeah, honestly, my parents, they kind of want me to avoid the body burns, because my skin complexion might not heal so well if something goes wrong. And also like I do some acting too, so I gotta take care of this.
I think the role I love you for the most is warm. You and Warm Bodies.
Yes, warm bodies.
Yes,
Yeah.
my girlfriend showed me that, and I think I've watched 3 or 4 times, and it's amazing.
Honestly, we didn't know what to expect, when we were doing warm bodies, because like, we were on set and we're thinking, oh, so this is like Romeo and Juliet with zombies. How well is this going to do? And it became like a classic, and I'm
Thank
so
God.
proud that I got to work on that. Yeah, but that was like my first bigger stunt job. Like before that, before I started doing stunts, I was working on you ever see a show called Blue Mountain State?
No, remember I'm
Yeah.
from Ireland. We don't get a lot of your shows.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I heard it got pretty popular in Europe when it came out, especially in Germany. But yeah, it's a football show, but it's really raunchy, like the same kind of humor as It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, just like really dark. Yeah, but like they never actually like showed games until the last episode. Like it would always be like at the beginning of an episode they would finish the game, or they would go into a game, you see the beginning credits, and then after the credits they lost the game or won. But yeah, it was in the last episode where they actually showed a game, and so they needed a bunch of stunt guys to give hits and take hits, on the field. So they needed to upgrade a few of the extras, and I was one of the football players, and I did that for like 3 years. So, but usually the football players on that team, they were university football players, and they'd have to go to training camp before the show was done being shot. So, but there was always like a select few of us, that would stick around, and
Yeah.
Like they had to have like familiar faces, on the football team. So if they got a bunch of new guys, they could get away with having an entirely different football team, because some of the hardcore fans would notice that there was a
Thank
bunch of
God
new
for hardcore
faces.
fans keeping you
Yeah.
working. I'd say
Yeah,
that's
that was
great.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'd say it's great if you've ever done like a background role in Marvel, because I remember that guy who's like tells Peter to do a flip in Homecoming ended up in Shang-Chi. Like
Mhm.
they just love to keep people around.
Yeah.
But dude, I'd hate to get into Marvel too early if I was an actor. Like I know a girl who was working on, I think it's her name fucking goes out of my mind. It's Bono's daughter. No,
Oh,
it's one of her friends actually. Shit,
okay.
fuck, what's her name?
You,
But
you said Bono's daughter?
yeah, it's one of her friends. She's in Loki,
Okay.
and then she died in the first minute of being on screen, and I was like,
Okay.
you could, if you stuck around long enough, you could have actually been a hero or like a fucking good side character. But
Mhm.
it's in the
Yeah,
Loki
that's the
series.
thing. Like once your face is burnt in and you die right away, you're done.
Yeah,
Like when I was doing extra work, like, well, I mean, now I don't do so much. I don't do any extra work at all anymore, because I'm afraid that if I take a job as an extra, then my face will get burnt into the show or the movie. And then if a stunt coordinator calls me to do a stunt on that show, I can't accept it because I've already shown my face and I've died or whatever. And,
start wearing makeup.
yeah.
Start shaving for your extra jobs.
Yeah.
or grow a bushy beard.
Yeah. I've heard, well, that happens sometimes. I heard stories of, I believe on one of the John Wick movies, there was a lot of like bearded stuntmen with a lot of hair. And then by the end of the movie, you see a bunch of bald guys with, completely shaved. And a lot of those guys were the same stunt guys, from the beginning, which is a good trick, I guess. Not too many people are going to notice that.
I actually found that helped me to get some roles, just having longer hair, because I guess they see it like, oh, it's more to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easier, like if you have longer hair, because then it's easier for like the hair and makeup people to take stuff off, as opposed to making a fake beard and a wig and adding to it.
Yeah. You going that for work or Movember?
No, I'm going for the December beard.
Respect.
Yeah.
Go for the old Santa beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've tried mustaches, but they just don't work for me.
Same as, I think when I get a mustache going like a bit like this, it looks like two horses kissing. Yours kind of looks the same too.
Yeah.
That little gap in between.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad, eh?
Have you been asked to like get a haircut or shave on set before?
Yes, but in some cases, you can ask for a little extra money, and I believe I got paid a little extra on Xmen Apocalypse. Originally, I was growing my hair out like they were just going to put some like braids in and extensions, but instead it was just easier to shave the whole head and put the whole piece of silicone on my head and then add the fake hair, which I don't mind. I actually like shaving my head and just going clean for a while. It feels good, especially during the summer. But during the winter, I try my best to grow as much hair as I can. But then on the first hot day, I get rid of it.
You melt. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a sauna on my head.
Did you watch WandaVision?
No, not yet, but I hear good things about it. I have so much catching up to do.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's so many shows that I haven't seen yet, but it's like there's just an abundance of content now that I can't catch up. Like I haven't caught up all the way on Superman and Lois because what happened was there was a bit of a hiatus because they had to keep like halting production because of COVID and stuff, and it just was becoming an issue. So they had a hiatus after 5 episodes, and then I kind of lost track, and so I figured I'll just get back to it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm honestly super impressed with what I saw on that show. It looks like a movie. They treated it like a movie when we were working on it.
It's how to do it.
I'm very, very proud of that one.
The only reason I brought it up was because rather than have the guy who plays Vision strap into all of his makeup, they just put like dots on his head and put like a plain color over his face.
Yeah.
I'd say that's so much better than getting all that silicone on you.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd imagine you're melting.
On Xmen, it was rough. Like, I had to do a couple of rehearsals, like where we tested the makeup, and at first it took like 3.5 hours to get it on. But then once they got used to it, it was, cut down to 3 hours. But when we were actually shooting, it was a whole week straight. And every morning for 7 days straight, I had to sit in the chair and, get this makeup put on. And there's no airflow or anything. All my pores are closed. So yeah, by the end of the week, I had a nasty rash, and
dude,
I was in so much pain, and I had to just stay in bed for a few days.
I'd say every time you got out of the thing, you stunk. Like you'd be loving the shower when you get home.
Yeah. And originally they gave me one of those cool vests where, you ever heard of these things?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it didn't, like the costume didn't fit anymore when I put the vest on. So I had to like kind of just forgo that and, and tough it out. And well, the thing about these costumes is they're meant to look cool. They're not always meant to be comfortable.
Yeah. Your stunt guy, they're going to tell you to suck it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one thing I don't like.
That was the case on Superman and Lois, because this costume weighed like 70 pounds.
Dude. Yeah, because like, in fairness, I can't really show a picture of it, like, but it was massive. I still like think Master Chief as like a villain for Superman or his kids. So
yeah. But you know what? It was totally worth it. When I saw the end result, watching the videos, it made it all worth it. But it was definitely the toughest job I've had so far. Just my movement was so restricted, and the helmet, I couldn't see a damn thing. And I had to fight Superman blind, basically. And it's like the first episode, and I don't want to accidentally break his nose or something. So I was just pulling a lot of punches. And
Now, did he have a stunt double, or was it actually him?
He did have a stunt double, but
The
the
actor, not
actor,
Superman.
yeah.
Yeah. It was.
But the actor was very good. Like if he wasn't an actor, he would have been a great stuntman. He did an excellent job.
Then the stunt guy's name was Clark Kent, right? And he left the room, and here comes Superman. What an amazing. Yeah. That's kind of cool, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That he did that himself. Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of the dangerous stuff, it was my buddy Donovan Cool, the stunt double.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What a good, good second name. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, everyone did an excellent job.
He's got through it, and
a lot of fun to work on. Yeah.
Is there a season 2 coming?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe they actually started on that.
Well,
yeah, but I should mention that I'm not going to be on the show again, but they ended up having to replace me because. So what happened was, in the first 2 episodes that I worked on, whenever I took the helmet off and you see, the actor's face, he never actually had to wear the full costume. Like, it was just the chest up, and they would do close-ups, and that's it. But to my understanding, for the end of the season, they wanted to see the actor wearing the full costume. And Wole Parks, he's a big guy, but he's a significant amount shorter than me, so it just didn't work out, to have a stunt double that was much taller than him. It wouldn't have looked right if you see me walking around and then he takes the helmet off and then suddenly he's the exact same height as Superman. So which is totally fine. I mean, it's the nature of the industry, but if I did that, I would have had to walk away from a different job coming up, which I did, but that's going to be airing at the end of this year, I believe.
Blink if it's Marvel. Oh, he blinked.
Actually, it's Star Trek.
Oh, you can actually talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say exactly what, but I can say that.
Yeah,
I'll be doing Star Trek next season, so I won't say what my character is.
Yeah.
But,
no, I'd never want you to actually say what you're doing. I don't want people in trouble. We've had a few leaks on this before. Had a Resident Evil actor say he was working with another actor on a Resident Evil game. So he leaked he was in the next one. So
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. Do you have to sign a lot of NDAs?
Yes.
What's the longest you've had to wait to admit that you're in something?
I mean, I don't usually wait too long. Like if I'm in something, I'll say that I'm in it, but that's usually as far as it goes. Like I won't say the character's name or anything or what episode. I'll just say, yeah, I worked on this and I'll be playing a role, so stay tuned.
I don't know if you got my question.
Oh,
like a year, 2 years, kind of.
Oh, like how long I have to wait to see myself, or
yeah. Like I know a guy who was 4 years on NDA and then it didn't get released and he still can't talk about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I guess I don't know, I guess like a year. That's usually how long it takes for for something to to get edited and come out. I mean, unless it's a show like Superman where they're actually still filming while it's being aired.
That's risky.
Yeah,
it's very risky.
And that's what happened with the there was the hiatus because of COVID cases. They had to keep taking breaks. So in the meantime, they showed Supergirl, and then once they got to the halfway point there, then they started releasing more episodes of Superman. Yeah, but yeah, like with movies though, usually it takes about a year, before it comes out. But like until it comes out and it's been out for a while, like I don't post any photos or anything or any videos. Like I'll just talk about it, with my friends, but without getting into too much detail.
Yeah,
but
because you want to
generally, we
keep
gotta be
working.
hush-hush. Yeah, absolutely.
It'd be worse if you were one of the actors. I think with stunts, it's kind of there's a bit more. They don't tell you much anyway, so you're a bit safer.
Yeah. Like sometimes with stunts, like they don't even give you like certain parts of the script. Like when like you just go and then you see the pages that you're actually working on, and then that's it. But some shows are like really secretive. Like when I was working on the last Xmen, it was they wouldn't even let us keep the sides, which is like the pages they give you at the beginning of the day, so you know what you're filming. Usually I like to collect those, like with the call sheets and stuff, but even then they were very secretive, and don't do that. But one thing that happened to a good friend of mine was we were working on a show and they were being very secretive, and like he kind of posted on Instagram, just him in the makeup chair. It wasn't like revealing anything, just wanted to show that he was in the makeup chair working, but there were photos behind him that he didn't notice. And he got a little bit of trouble, a slap on the wrist, but lessons learned, right?
Yeah.
But like stuff like that, you got to be super careful about, like, because that shit can leak very easily.
And you want to keep working.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Could you imagine how stressful it is for the guys on set of Spider-Man right now? Like, there's so much like people trying to get stuff leaked from that, or even worse, like Infinity War Endgame kind of stuff.
Yeah, apparently that was like
that must have been crazy. Like even having extras in that would have been.
Yeah.
I want to skip it really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that could be
And
stressful.
sometimes the extras can be a bit bad sometimes. Like there was a story a few years ago when the new Star Trek show was coming out. They didn't actually finish it as yet. They were in production, and apparently there was an extra wearing an alien costume that was not supposed to be revealed, and basically took a picture of him and all his friends and posted it. And it's like, hey, here's all me and all my Klingon friends, and nobody's heard from him since.
He went missing.
It's like, it's Star Trek, guys. Come on.
Yeah. Could you imagine you get an extra in and then you can't contact them after? Like that would imagine you got an extra in and they did something like that and you couldn't contact them after. Like so some guy posted a picture and there was a photo in the background that shouldn't have been there. And then the stress for like directors or assistant directors trying to like get in contact with this fucker.
Yeah. Well, usually that happens pretty quick where they can, get it off the internet, but sometimes, it's like the damage been done, you can't do much about it. So, you just got to be mindful of, like just don't take any photos, and if you do, just do not let them see the light of day until the project has been released and it's been out for a while and people have seen it. And it's like, okay, then you can get away with it. But honestly, like sometimes I wait like a year, before I do like a photo dump or post a bunch of videos, like I'll wait a year, like after, the show is out, before I reveal stuff like that.
They were very, very strict when I did the last duo, and lads would like sneak off in pairs to the bathroom, and then you take a picture outside the fucking like porta potty.
Oh yeah.
Like I never seen any of them post. They still haven't posted mine, but like there was that level of like don't fucking do anything. Like we got Matt Damon here, who is shorter in person. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of celebrities are a lot shorter than they look on their projects. And oftentimes, I'm sure you know what an apple box is. Well, that's the term we use to, for like a box, for actors to stand on. So they're like a little closer in height.
They actually do that.
Yeah.
I always thought that was like just a joke for Tom Cruise.
No, it's not a joke. Apparently, I don't know if you've heard of 24, the show with Kiefer Sutherland. I heard a story. I heard a story about Freddie Prinze Jr. He had to go barefoot sometimes, when he was doing scenes with Kiefer Sutherland.
He's not that big of a name to make you take your shoes off, is he?
Well, I mean,
like
playing
take me for dinner
like...
first.
Yeah. Well, because apparently the height difference was so noticeable that that it had to be done.
Fair. Then just put him on a box or something. Or is he embarrassed of the box? Like,
Oh,
just
sometimes
take off your
actors get a
shoes.
little.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. Actors might get a little touchy about that sort of thing.
Is that something in their contract if you work with Kiefer Sutherland? You might be asked to like take off your shoes by him at some point. Always say yes. uh
Yeah.
I'm kidding about the guy, but I fucking love that guy.
Oh, Kiefer?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
he's
voice
cool.
acting he did for Metal Gear Phantom Pain.
Oh yeah, that's
Incredible.
right.
Incredible.
Yeah. But I loved his role as Jack Power. That's that was a really cool show.
Yeah. Yeah, he's an interesting guy. Who would be the biggest name you've worked with?
Oh, biggest name I've worked with?
Like you actually now working with them, that's what I asked, but that you've actually spoken to or gotten to be in the same room as.
Tough call because there's so many of them now.
Oh, look at you all fancy.
Yeah.
All the big names. Oh, where do I start? Just whip out a book, just a
Yeah.
list.
Be
My
easier
picture
to
with
tell
Hugh
you who I
Jackman.
haven't worked with. Well, Hugh Jackman. There you go.
Yeah.
Lucky guess. Yeah. No,
You were an
he's a lot of
X-Men.
fun.
Of course you worked with that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was funny because he was like I was trying my best not to be starstruck, because this was like my first really big job, since I did Warm Bodies before that, and I worked with Teresa Palmer, Nick Holt, but yeah, Hugh Jackman, that was a big one. Yeah. But yeah, so like I was trying my best not to be starstruck, and so I'm kind of standing at the craft table, getting a snack, and I kind of see like his silhouette walking towards me, with the Wolverine hair and stuff. I'm like, okay, be cool, be cool. And then before I knew it, he was standing right beside me, starting a conversation with me. And so, we just chatted up for, a couple minutes, and he was like, okay, well, I'm going to set, see you later. And then I was so like, oh my God, I just had a chat with Hugh Jackman, and I walk outside to go catch my breath. And then James McAvoy comes up to me and introduces himself. And he's another one of my favorite actors. But it's like, I'm just like, okay, sorry, man. I just met Hugh Jackman. I can't do this right now. Yeah. But no, he was a lot of fun to work with. He's, they're all pretty awesome.
I've had it lessened since starting this show. The tunnel vision you get when you talk to someone that you think is like famous.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's nothing really like it. Like the focus is just on them, like act normal, act normal, act normal. Like I'm talking, like at a point now, I could like look around the place, be fine. But I remember there's this voice actor we had on. His name is James C. Burns,
Mm-hmm.
and he was Woods in Call of Duty Black Ops, and that was the first time it hit me. I was just shitting my pants talking to this guy. And what's even dumber about this is we talked to Jordan Elsas beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was easy because he was that same age. And then a while later, we had the same thing with Carol Baskin on recently. And dude, when she actually joined the call, I didn't know what the fuck to say. And it's just like, because there's an added thing of she might have killed someone. Okay, but like the thing that goes along with how famous she is, it's fucking weird. Talking to big names is fucking freaky.
Yeah, well, you just got to remember that they're people too,
know,
and the film industry, it's just a job, that it's a fun job, and it pays well, but these people are people.
They're human. Like Hugh Jackman has to scratch his ass every now and then, so he's like everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's super muscular, but I'm sure he wants to eat a donut once in a while.
Dude. A lot of respect for people who can do that, but
yeah.
And at a certain point, when is it miserable?
Mm-hmm.
Like unless you're like a power lifter, like those guys like Eddie Hall.
Yeah.
They can kind of eat because they have to have a bit pudgy as well. But when you get like proper jacked, you have the cravings. Like how like is a keto cookie really as good as a normal cookie?
I don't know. Yeah, but that's the thing. A lot of it is what you eat, not how much you can lift, right? Like, because if you're lifting,
something like 80% of your gains are from your food.
That's it. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hugh Jackman was definitely one of the nicest people I met in the industry. apparently he was feeling really homesick one day while working in Montreal, so he found an Australian pie restaurant or a bakery,
Oh,
and bought everything and brought it to the set and fed the whole crew.
what
I
a
remember
legend.
my dad coming home with a pile of Australian pies. I'm like, oh, where'd you get those? My dad was like, oh, Hugh Jackman got me these.
I have a similar story.
Oh, is that right?
It was Matt Damon's birthday, his 50th
Oh,
birthday,
cool.
on set, and he fucker was still working. And like
Oh,
the crew ordered like shit tons of cake.
no way.
I got one from the same tray as him. I brought it home for my
Nice.
mom, and I was like, Mom, it was Matt Damon's birthday, and here's a slice of his cake.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's not as cool as Hugh Jackman getting a fucking Australian pie. I prefer that one. Yeah, because he's homesick as well. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Could you imagine though, like you're just working in the bakery and Hugh Jackman walks in and buys everything? That must have been
people
fun.
have that experience here with Conor McGregor.
Okay.
I think we bought a pub recently. I think it's called the Black Forge Inn.
Okay.
But like
cool.
when he's in Ireland and just going about, like suddenly there's no one, and then there's like all of like everyone following him, his security, his wife, his I don't know, his social climbers, like everyone fucking all around him, and it's fucking weird. When he shows up, a crowd will gather. Like,
Oh my God.
so it's
That must
it's
get
definitely
annoying.
weird. I'd say maybe he likes it. I don't know. It's Conor McGregor.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. You UFC fan?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I don't follow it that much, but I know every once in a while I'll watch a fight, and I do mixed martial arts too. So,
I'd
but
imagine.
I'm not competitive about it. Like I do it more for
Why not?
stunt work and yeah, but
Yeah.
but I've met some professional fighters and UFC guys, and there's even some pro fighters that are stunt people who I hang out with on a regular basis, which is
Like GSP.
pretty cool. I have met GSP, but not on set. It was this was like 11, 12 years ago. I was going to a gym or an MMA gym that he would also go to once in a while. So I, just
Hey
met
GSP,
him there. And
what's going on?
yeah, what's up,
The
G?
greatest of all time.
Yeah,
I see you.
yeah. And he's he's a friend of many friends of mine.
Yeah.
So there is that 1 or 2 degrees of separation. As a matter of fact, I actually when I was on Blue Mountain State, I worked with Chuck Liddell. He was a guest star on an episode, and I was just watching the Chuck Liddell episode
Dude.
you guys did, which is pretty cool.
It was so weird.
I didn't finish the whole episode, but he's super friendly, very nice guy.
But weeks later, that shit with his wife comes out.
Oh,
we're kind of freaked out. Like, did we just have this guy on and he fucking bet his wife or something? But it turned out it was the other way around.
Okay.
And what like his options were, one of you have to go with us for the night at jail or whatever. And yeah, he chose to go. He just didn't want to have his wife go. Like, that's
okay. Yeah.
fucking weird.
But it's surprising sometimes, some of the meanest people on screen are like the nicest people in real life. Like I also worked with Dave Bautista a long time ago on the third Chronicles of Riddick movie, or the third one. I think it was just called Riddick, and they shot that in Montreal. And he was just the sweetest man I ever met. But he is so mean on screen. Like that Bond villain he played was just unbelievably mean.
He played a Bond villain?
Yeah, in Spectre.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's not the best one, but it's decent. It had good action in it.
Yeah,
Batista was the best part of it.
You'd be surprised like how much shit people got going on in the background.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, like I said, they're people, right?
Exactly.
People with people problems, and yeah, and oftentimes they're put on a pedestal.
Is it deserved? A lot of the time, yeah.
Honestly, a lot of the time, I think so. Maybe I don't necessarily believe that a guy like Johnny Depp should make $30 million a movie, but
that sounds like pretty low numbers for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, genuinely.
Yeah. But no, I think it takes a lot of talent and hard work, to do what these celebrities do. And yeah, honestly, it's plus you're burning your face into history, right? You're becoming a part of history. So I think you deserve to get paid a lot, definitely, but not like 30 million.
Yeah, because
maybe 1 million's fair, but
yeah, because at what point are you just too difficult to work with that price point?
well, that's the thing, you can be the greatest actor of all time, but if you're difficult to work with, then no one's going to want to work with you or hire you, and there's been a lot of comeback stories, where
Yeah,
they're very short-lived, because they're just being a pain in the ass on set.
like you've probably heard like stereotypes of shit like this actor will only drink this water, or they'll only have this at lunch, they have to eat this many times during filming, blah blah blah.
Oh, I've heard an endless amount of stories like that.
Dave Bautista actually has one of those. He has to eat
Oh,
every
yeah?
4 hours. They have to stop filming for him to eat every 4 hours.
Yeah, he's a big guy. I can understand that.
But at what point is that like, come on, you're one of like 14 main cast here. Please, we have to keep filming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Well,
what do
I
you
guess
do
they
when
would
you
have.
sleep?
Yeah. You gotta wake up every 4 hours and stuff your face.
Yeah, I had to
Yeah,
wake
but
up.
Batista's super easy to work with. Like he's
Yeah.
very nice, he doesn't complain, but then you get some actors, that'll just refuse to come out of their trailer, unless they want to. And yeah, but no, he's
Like,
really on the ball.
what's even more annoying with that is they have the power to just do that, because you can't force them to act like a guy down the road here. He'd be working in a shop, yeah. If he just says he doesn't want to work, okay, fuck you, you're fired.
Mhm.
You're here to work. You don't just like
Yeah.
change your mind,
But
take a
that's
day
the
off
thing. Like
instead or
if
something.
if like you're one of the stars of the movie and they've shot half the movie, then like they got to
Yeah.
put up with a lot of shit from these people just to get done.
What if Johnny Depp just said, I don't fucking want to finish this next Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and he just goes home, gets his lawyers to do some shit in the court. He just doesn't want to finish it. Like he
It
could
would
do it.
cost a lot of money, but
Yeah.
you would have to pay up, if you
But
wanted to walk away.
the point is like the stars have almost absolute power over even the director, just everyone
Mhm.
involved there.
Oh, absolutely, that happens. If you got a big movie star working with a relatively new director, they're going to be calling the shots a lot. And sometimes the director can't really do anything about it. But also, the director isn't always the producer as well, right? Like you got someone like Steven Spielberg, who produces a lot of the work that he directs, but a director can be hired and can be fired too, right? And replaced. So yeah.
Now, yeah, it's true. Now having worked on a lot of sets yourself, without naming names, have you ever seen an example of what we were just talking about, or what was the most extreme?
All right, I'll try not to mention this person's name, but when I was working on Blue Mountain State, there was another show being made, in the same studio, and this star, he just made a big comeback. You didn't hear about him for a few years, but he made a huge comeback, and apparently, he would never remember his lines, and his stunt double was doing most of the acting for him because he was wearing a mask. His character wore a mask and a helmet most of the movie anyway, and his stunt double looked just like him. So the double ended up doing a lot of the acting, and apparently he had an earpiece, so some PA would feed him his lines and he would just repeat them. But I heard that one time the PA misread a line and this actor flipped out, like threw the helmet and just started having a hissy fit. Like, you didn't read my fucking lines to me properly. And then
Learn your lines.
yeah, so like, the director, it took him like an hour to calm this guy down. And he refused to work unless the set was exactly 22 degrees Celsius. Couldn't make eye contact with this guy. You couldn't like reach in and get food unless he was done. Like at the lunch line, you couldn't go near him. And I mean, I didn't see it firsthand, but I heard stories. And
But you're working with a
apparently,
madman. But like their
yeah,
name is bringing, I guess, views to the fucking
that's
production.
it.
It's so weird.
Absolutely. But you haven't seen this guy much, ever since, right? Like every once in a while you see him in something, but no. Apparently they would find him in the mornings, like just kind of passed out on the front lawn of the studio.
Oh, it looks like
And
there you go.
yeah, and with just empty rum bottles and shit. And Yeah, just
Jack
total diva
Sparrow
on
was on
set.
set.
What's that?
I said
Yeah,
Jack Sparrow was on set.
yeah.
Okay, that's fucking weird, dude. That's a really rough work environment. I
Yeah.
understand now why like a lot of non-acting staff are striking, because you got to deal with like children.
Hmm. No, that's the thing. It can be like dealing with children sometimes, but then you get some actors, like perfect example again would be, Hugh Jackman, who does his job, does exactly what's asked of him. He's always on time. I've heard a story of him waiting around on the set, and his co-star wasn't there, so he went to the co-star's trailer and said, "Hey, get on the set, man. I've been waiting for you for 20 minutes." Like he seems very like well aware of how like the studio made him the coolest guy in Hollywood, right? So he respects that, and doesn't act like a pain in the ass on set. Yeah. Another example would be like when I was working on Blue Mountain State. Sometimes a certain character would get written off the show by the end of the season, because they couldn't keep their dick in their pants around the cheerleaders.
Now that's rough, because those cheerleaders are like featured extras at best.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they're getting paid like fuck all. That's
wearing skimpy outfits, and
I normally like say it's kind of, sometimes it's BS when people like talk about like power dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
The actor definitely has a lot of power in that scenario. Coming over those chicks, that's fucking weird.
And this was back like 10, 12 years ago, before this whole Me Too thing. So yeah,
it's fucking weird.
But a show like Blue Mountain State probably wouldn't be able to get made, in this climate.
Who was in Blue Mountain State? I'm not really familiar with it. Who's the main cast?
So there was Darren Brooks. He's a soap opera actor. Can't remember which ones exactly. He's done a few though. I believe he did Bold and the Beautiful, Young and the Restless, and but one you might know is do you watch Titans by any chance, or have you heard of it?
Dude, I don't watch a lot of TV.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's a DC show. He plays Hawk.
Like Teen Titans, kind of.
Yeah, it's Teen Titans, but
the
it's
adult
like
version.
That's it. Yeah, he was on that show as Hank Hall. I think that was his name in the show, and he's going to be playing Jack Reacher in the TV series reboot. Yeah, it's no longer Tom Cruise.
Fair enough. Yeah, I've seen some of that.
Yeah, he was actually in an episode of Black Mirror. Alan, he do you watch Black Mirror by any chance? Have you seen?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
It was the one with Ron Howard's daughter, Bryce Dallas Howard. The one with the point system that's actually kind of happening in China right now.
Yes. That's why it was made. That was the point of the episode.
Yeah. So his character was the one getting married to the best friend.
Yeah.
He's actually done a lot though. There's a few that I'm just not thinking of.
There's so many actors who never get like a proper breakout role. Like there's always a couple who get at the like the line, but they never like get the, I don't know, I guess main star in whatever their own show, fucking whatever. A lot of them are kind of like supporting actor in a medium-sized show, blah blah blah. Like the worst Marvel movie or whatever. Like he was a big guy in Thor 2, or yeah.
I think I believe he actually auditioned for Thor.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Like to be like the actor for Thor?
To be Thor. I remember watching an interview with him or a different podcast where he was talking about being Thor. He was actually one of the Ninja Turtles in the live action version.
Oh god.
I think it was the first, like the recent, not super recent, but the one with all the CGI.
I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but
I know a guy who was like in the top 8 to be Spider-Man.
Okay.
And they were all in the room at the same time. And he'd just done his audition. He sits down. Next guy after him is Tom Holland. And Tom Holland goes up and whispers to the guys, like, "It's okay if I start some flip." And yeah, he does it and he fucking nails it. One guy gets up, leaves. Like he
Yeah,
just
I
knew.
heard about that.
Yeah.
It's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna waste my time.
Yeah. And I wouldn't
Story.
mind like how many thousands of people would have went for that role, being the top 8.
Mm-hmm.
Like God, you wish you got something. And you
Yeah,
might never get that close to a Marvel role ever again.
yeah.
Imagine being Spider-Man today. Like he's kind of like the back of, yeah, no, I guess like this the spine of the MCU at the moment. Like
Yeah.
Iron Man's gone. They're trying to make him the next big guy. So
Yeah, and arguably he's like the best Spider-Man so far. He did a great job.
yeah, he's pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
Looking forward to that next one. Yeah,
yeah.
should be interesting. But
I
like,
love how they brought back J.K. Simmons at the end of the last one. That was hilarious.
dude, have you
I
seen
knew they were talking about it, but I didn't expect to see that. That was awesome.
the end credit scene in Venom? Spoilers. The Venom Let There Be Carnage, where like he's there as well.
Okay.
Like, have you seen it?
I didn't, but if
Well,
it's
do you want me to
that's
finish
cool.
it or will I stop?
You might as well. It's probably going to be a while before I see it. I have no excuse for not watching it yet.
Tisk tisk. So at the end, Venom saying like, let me show you what I can actually do. I've only shown you a fraction of my power. He talks about multiverses, that the symbiotes can like have like a shared
Okay.
consciousness across time, space, different universes and shit. And he says, okay, I'll show you. And then the room starts changing. It freaks the fuck out. And
Mhm.
J.K. Simmons is on the TV talking about Spider-Man. And Venom is like saying to Eddie Brock, like, that wasn't me. I swear that wasn't me. And so he looks like he's in the next movie.
Okay.
But yeah, he goes up to the TV and sees Tom Holland, licks the screen, like, because if that shared consciousness thing is right, the same Venom has already fought this guy in like whatever other movies.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. It just sets up stuff for the next movie.
That's really cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool what they're doing. Kind of merging all the stuff that happened pre MCU together, and
Yeah, rather than getting rid of it.
yeah,
Thank God.
yeah. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the next one. Just to see what they do there. I'm hoping that all 3 of the Spider-Mans are in there. That would be really awesome.
The expectations that people have for that movie is insane.
Yeah,
like people expect all 3 Spider-Mans, expect Venom, they expect Morbius, they want like the Sinister Six, they want there to be like a reference to Wanda from like WandaVision. Like so much shit they want to happen in that, but we'll see.
Yeah, but I like how they're bringing back some of the original actors, like the original Doc Ock. Like he knocked it out of the park, in Spider-Man 2. So
Alfred Molina,
nice.
what a guy.
Yeah, it's nice to see him coming back, and I think they're bringing Jamie Foxx back as Electro.
They are.
Yeah,
we asked Alfred Molina to get on the show ages ago, and we got a message off him saying that he was busy on a project. I guess that was the project, because we had a guy who just worked with him get on, Derek. Oh, what's the second name? But he made a short film with Alfred Molina, and we're like, oh, maybe we'll have a chance. Say we know this guy. Guess he's busy. What a fucking reveal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's deadly.
It's pretty cool.
Have you done any like MCU films? Like any actually like non Xmen?
No, not yet. No, Xmen, that's that's what I've done so far for the MCU.
Love to see in it. I'd love to see it.
I actually auditioned for the Guardians of the Galaxy video game, but it didn't work out in the end. I auditioned for Groot, actually.
I know people in the Avengers one, but Guardians of the Galaxy, that's a fun one.
Yeah.
Imagine how easy that would be. Just I am Groot. It's like, how much money did who plays him in the films? It's Vin Diesel.
Oh, Vin Diesel, yeah.
How much does he get paid for saying I am Groot like 6 times?
Oh God.
And just for them to audio engineer it after, like anyone could say that and they could just change it because it sounds nothing like him.
Yeah, but I think he's also doing like the mocap and stuff. Like just wearing the suit and walking around on the stilts. And
When he's doing the voice acting, he's on stilts.
yeah.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, but I'm sure even like when he does the voice, they'll do the ADR in post production, just to get a better sound there. But Vin Diesel, apparently he's a really good businessman. He my dad, he chatted with him a lot when they were working together on Riddick. But apparently they were able to do the third Riddick movie because I don't know if you've seen Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
I've only seen 1, 2, and the most recent.
Okay. Well, 1 and 2, or actually just 1 is the best one anyway. You don't have to go past that. But actually, Tokyo Drift was not bad. I enjoyed that one. But anyway, at the very end of the movie, Vin Diesel makes an appearance. And like right before the credits. And so anyway, he actually did that for free, to my understanding. And
so he did a cameo for free.
He did it for free. Well, actually, in exchange for the rights to Riddick. And Universal Pictures, apparently, they're like, okay, whatever. they didn't care about Riddick anymore. So yeah, he got the rights just by doing that, making a quick appearance, and he made a fortune off Riddick. It was very good. Like it was. It wasn't the greatest of the Riddick movies, but no, it was actually a fun, good movie. And he made a huge profit on it. So yeah, that worked out in the end.
Well, fair play to him. Genuinely.
Yeah.
What's that thing in his contract where he can't lose a fight? And
that's him.
Well,
I thought that was the Rock and. Oh, okay. I thought that was the Rock and Statham.
They're supposed to. But if they fight, they're supposed to have a stalemate. Those guys.
Oh God. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case for Vin as well. But I actually really liked Hobbs and Shaw. It was
dude. It was incredible.
Yeah.
People said it was garbage, like hot garbage. I thought it was incredible.
Yeah.
It's like this could be like a genuine series and do really well.
Yeah. Apparently those two are so busy though that they might not have time for a sequel. But I'm hoping there is. I feel that was like, besides the first Fast and Furious, that was probably the best Fast and Furious.
If The Rock has time to become a rapper, he can do that. Come on.
Yeah, but no, it was a lot of fun, even though some of the stuff that happened was unbelievable. It was just so well made that you just forgot like how silly it was, right? Like I love the part where he grabs the guy on the motorcycle going the other direction.
Yeah. That was incredible.
Yeah. One thing that upset me though was when they're sliding down on the ropes from the top of the building there, like I think you would get rope burn off of that, so maybe
you're looking at bone by the time you got down.
Yeah. But it looked so cool that I could forgive that.
Yeah. If you ever gone down a rope, even like if you put the main focus of like the pressure on your shoes, you'll notice like a bit of your shoes missing.
Yeah.
I remember we did it in gym class. Like we don't call that here, but like we had to climb up a rope for like a sports day thing, and just to see how fast you could do it, like what was the best time. Mm-hmm. And yeah, coming down, there's like a noticeable notch in my shoes and burning in my hands because I'd never gotten off one of those things before. I'd never even climbed it before. But yeah, rough old bit there. Yeah, I wouldn't be as good as a stuntman as yourself. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, actually, when I seen the guys on The Last Duel, I really fucking wanted to try join stunts in some way because like I do archery. That's kind of my main thing. I've done martial arts before. I'm kind of in okay shape. The beard makes me look chubby. But
you know what? It's all stuff you can put on a resume if that's what you decide to do, right? I mean,
yeah.
Not everything we do is like. I mean, yeah, it's a dangerous job, but
when I think of it, I think a guy is setting themselves on fire. That's my problem.
Yeah, that's not always the case, like I try to avoid it, but if I'm offered a good amount of money to do that, I'll give it a try. But it's like not every stunt person runs off of buildings naked on fire these days, right? Like a lot of us are like specialized now because there's more of us these days. Like when my dad started, it was back in the late 80s, and he has a lot of injuries that got worse over time, because back then there was no CGI, right? It was all
Yeah.
actually jumping off buildings and getting hurt real bad, and
Yeah, it's rough.
there was no such thing as pads back then. So
I thought for a while that you guys were going to get replaced by CG, but
we all thought that.
With mocap being used more and more, like just for everything, maybe you guys are going to stick around.
Yeah,
you can do so much more with mocap. So
yeah, but yeah, that's
might be saving us.
One thing we were worried about, with COVID was what if what if Hollywood just ceases to exist, after this? What if it's all mocap and VR, and it's like, because we just didn't know what to make of it. When COVID started, we knew nothing about it. So
VR is going to be a massive thing. I know they're talking about making like VR cinemas and shit now.
Mhm.
You can already do that in VR chat. It's not fucking legal. I've been to a couple, but like they want to make it like legitimate. Like that whole experience just from your fucking eyes.
Yeah.
Facebook's doing that with its metaverse, aren't they?
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I think VR is going to be really important once space travel becomes a thing, like more of a thing, more so than it is today. Like when people start going to Mars, it's not going to be comfortable and it's going to be tight. And so, people are going to need to keep their sanity, when they're going on
that's a very fucking good
trip,
point.
right?
That's a very good point. Like to artificially like increase like your leg room. You would have. That's fucking smart.
Yeah.
They need you. They need you. I'll give Musk a call.
Yeah, why not?
Carol Baskin said something to us about VR. She very clear she didn't know what VR really was, but she wants like VR cameras set up in native habitats where tigers are.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants like 10% of the profit to go to whoever's doing it, 90% to go to the people living there because if they were fucking tigers.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants to get rid of her own like tiger park eventually, but that's her plan. She wants to fund by herself to get like these fucking VR cameras around there so you can see tigers in their habitat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my big thing is powering those things, maintaining them,
mm-hmm.
and the insanely good internet you need to actually get that going.
Yeah.
Could you imagine trying to find someone who's willing to march through that area and set up these fucking cameras? Like the level of like education you would need to set that up, I think it would nullify the hopes of you ever actually doing it. You'd be, yeah. But that's what she wants to do. So even Carol Baskin's thinking of fucking VR.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember another girl we had on. She played a character in a horror game, and then she played it in VR, and she jump scared herself. Yeah, VR is a cool thing.
Wow.
I love that shit. I've practiced archery in that before, during the pandemic, because you can keep the form, but it's like be a target in front of you, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Shit like that. Yeah, it's cool stuff. Have you tried it?
VR or archery?
We'll go with VR first.
Honestly, not that much yet. I mean, I've tried it, but I haven't gotten into it yet. But I think it's amazing technology, and I'd like to once I have time, I'll maybe get myself a headset. Now that I have decent internet, I can do that.
Yeah. Well, you said you're very rural. Where are you based out of?
So I'm about almost an hour west of Montreal. I'm pretty close to Ontario border, but yeah, I'm in a very rural, forested area. There's a lot of people with horses and stuff, a lot of farms.
Damn.
And there's like certain pockets where the internet is a little harder to get than than in other places. But also like I'm kind of living with the folks again, so yeah. But it's such a nice property and a nice house, and so it's big enough to fit everyone. But I'm thinking about moving to like I was actually going to move out for the third time before COVID started, but then that happened, so I just thought it was safer to stay with the folks. But now I'm actually looking at getting a place in Toronto, because well, Netflix, they set up shop there, and a lot of productions are shooting there right now. Like there's never really a shortage of productions there. So yeah, so I
Well, get after, dude.
gotta go where the work is, right? And I'm always driving to Toronto anyway, so it's probably better to just have a place there. And plus, my parents, they work in the industry too, so yeah, it'd be nice for them to have a place to go instead of wasting money on hotels all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
I never think of Canada when I think of like film or like productions, but at the same time, Ireland gets a lot, but you'd never think of Ireland for a good place.
Yeah, it's like not every Hollywood, well, like so few Hollywood productions actually shoot in Hollywood these days, you know. And but it's also because of the dollar, right? It's cheaper for big American productions, you know, to go up to like Vancouver or Toronto or even Montreal. Like what's great about Montreal is it's like it can double for almost any city in the world, you know, depending on how you're filming it and where you're filming, and it's super ethnically diverse.
I've been told that the first point, not the yeah.
But I think so far my oh, sorry, were you about to say?
There was some Netflix show I know got filmed there, and it was supposed to be taking place in like the American South. So fair play on doing that one.
Yeah. But I mean, so far, I think Vancouver, it's my favorite city out of all of them. But it's just so far away that you know, like with Toronto, it's like it's only a 5-hour drive from Montreal, so you know it's easier to go back and forth. And if something comes up in Vancouver, then I'll fly back and yeah. But I was actually considering staying in Vancouver permanently if they brought me back to Superman. But like I said, you know, if that happened, I would have had to walk away from the other show, and so you know, it all worked out in the end. But no, I always thought that, you know, maybe Vancouver could still be a possibility one day. So it's a beautiful city.
How many productions are you working on right now?
Right at this minute, nothing, because I mean I just finished on C, so now. But I had such a good year this year and last year that, you know, I'm not too concerned about when my next job is coming. Plus,
that's good. It's very good.
Yeah. Plus, it's about to get cold, so you know, I'd rather just stay in the house. And
you know what sounds worse than getting set on fire for stunt work? Those guys who have to jump into the ice, the ice water. That sounds a lot fucking worse.
Yeah.
Like you get burned, you can roll around. You get fucking soaked. You're freezing for like the next 3 hours.
Yeah, that's it, eh?
Yeah.
But yeah, Vancouver's great because the weather kind of stays the same all year round. I mean, yeah, it gets cold, you know, during the winter, but you barely get any snow there, and it rains a lot. But
same here.
Yeah. One thing they do a lot in Vancouver is even if there's no rain, they like to wet down the roads just in case it starts raining like halfway through the day. Because if you have dry roads during the scene and then eventually they're wet again, it's like kind of messes with continuity. So it's easier to just make the roads wet.
Fair enough. That's an extreme level of detail.
Yeah. But
Fair enough.
It makes all the difference.
Yeah. Now I think we're about an hour and something in, and I want to say thanks for getting on, man. We had a fucking banger of a chat today.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
I thought because of the nature of what you did that you'd be a lot more serious, but you're fucking funny.
Much appreciated, man.
Good chat. And look, we even have some mutual friends, so
yeah,
interesting stuff.
Man.
So everyone who watched, listened, did whatever, maybe had it in the background, we caught you out. Thanks for tuning in, listen to us, chat on about shite. Have a good one, take it handy, and bye.